All right, what do we got?
How do I look? All right, 2020 Sprinter 174 by 4. Now you're gonna look at this and you'll be like, wow, that's the coolest van I've ever seen, I want one. But the real cool part about this is we started this thing 6 weeks ago from an empty shell. Our goal is to keep shaving that time and still being able to produce an unbelievably spectacular van with everything you could ever want in it. So besides your normal stuff that you want your air conditioner, you want your 12 volt fridge, all that stuff. This has a superior power system in it. Your Victron unit, Lion Energy. This thing has about 440 amp hours of juice.
We've got our
DC
red
to
arc
DC
up there, and then we're also using the Victron Energy multi-plus, a lot of Blue Sea stuff, and there's a little heat exchanger over there too.
Yep, so that heat exchanger is our Van Life Tech system. So we're using Van Life Tech for our water heater and our heat source for the van. So we like working with those guys. They make killer systems. So check them out.
Got the Remco pump in there. Had really good luck with those.
Yep.
What about these guys? This is one of the...
So these are pretty slick, Scandvic, and these are, they make them for boats, but obviously there's a lot of stuff that's translating into the RV industry.
Like a transfoam.
So yeah, the cool thing about this is set it outside, give yourself a shower. But up top, running right now, blowing on me very nicely, is a 12 volt fresh air. So that's our air conditioner system. It's got a its own auxiliary water tank here with its own water pump and wiring and everything. If you want to fill it up, you're just going to pop this top off and fill it up from your 26 gallon tank right there. You've got stainless steel components instead of plastic. It's one of those things where every little dollar and cent adds up. So instead of your $8 fill, you've got a really nice stainless steel boat style freshwater fill, stainless steel hardware on everything, your controller.
What are you standing on?
Trap door. So again, one of the things that as van life is getting more popular, people can scope out these vans and understand there's a lot of valuables in them, and they've been the target of smash and grabs. So you're at a trailhead, it's pretty isolated out there. You're like, I'm gonna take the dog out for a quick couple hour hike, and you come back and all the stuff that you have in there has been ransacked because there's no place to lock it down. So when we moved the spare tire to the back, that opened up a whole lot of room. So we put this 14 gauge or TIG welded aluminum pan in here, and we've got a lock on the top. For the most part, people aren't going to be looking in the floor, for a safe in the vans if they break in. But you add a little rug over to the top, and nobody's ever going to be the wiser. Our bed areas, so you can pop these over real quick, and then you've got a workstation, which is a nice solid 3/4 inch Baltic core Hex Ply for getting ready, changing babies' diapers, stuff like that. Yeah, and then some of the cool stuff that we've done is some of our fit and finish, which you can see by these pillars that we created on here. It's kind of a nice way to cover and finish this rear end cap. A lot of builders will take a piece of Vinda board and cover it with just crappy upholstery and stick it against that corner. We use that as an electrical chase, so right on both sides of the bed you have USB ports, you have articulating lights, and then of course instead of those silly little T windows or little half slider windows, when you're in bed, if you need some air, we actually have Arctic Tern full opening windows.
Full pop.
Yep. Cool. So this side, utility cabinet. This side's all storage. Tons of storage in this unit. Whole back section.
Nice large drawers.
Yep. So this gives us the ability to actually expand. So we left them open. The client's talking about using it for a minute and seeing what kind of shelving they might want, and then coming back and adding how they need. So it's kind of nice not to just, block it in right now and it's not modular in the future, depending on what they do.
Let's see, can I figure out how to turn this guy down? I don't know. That's
that feels really nice.
oh god, it's going fast.
Maybe the power button. So moving into the galley, right here you can see some of our Baltic core Hex Ply stacked. And so on our bed system, we designed it so that it could be kind of a multi-use. Instead of just being folded away and you either have a bed or you don't, or you have to actually remove it during your trip, we wanted to have other options. So you can pull out one of these leaves, set it in here at any point, and then if you need to gear up for the day, you're popping stuff out, you've got a secondary or a third table. And it's the same when you're maybe in the kitchen and you need some more counter space for, you know, making your meal for the night or whatever. Pump in here, start setting all your beers out, and you've just expanded your whole workstation, you know, by double for every leaf that you put out there. But when it comes time for the bed, it's as simple as this. Bam. You can make a bed in about 30 seconds or so. And you don't even have to make a full bed. If you wanted to, you could drop a couple of these in, and say you got a kid that's complaining and they want to take a nap, and you just want to grab one of these, toss it up there, and then you can lounge, the kid can lounge, but then you still have this space open for movement. So, you know, you throw a couple pillows right there, and then if somebody wants to, pop that guy right there. You can chill, put your feet up, grab a book, grab your iPad, whatever, and then take a nap. But you haven't closed off the whole van.
Yeah, it's still open space. The Arctic Terns too, we've probably shown in a couple of videos, so they have built-in blinds.
Yeah, so you don't want anybody watching you.
Shut her down.
Or if you want it open and you don't want the mosquitoes in, you've got the integrated screens.
Super convenient feature.
Yeah, super slick. And we have our display, or the shelf on the other side, which is nice. If you're chilling here, you set up your, you know, your computer, your iPad or something like that, and you can watch a show, plug it into your USB. But also, kind of hidden, we do have a 17-inch screen TV. So from the back side, you know, chilling in bed, there you go. It's, you know, throw a Chromecast, Fire Stick, some random stuff.
A robot head now, dude.
Yeah.
Blue screen.
So it tucks away, not gonna hit your head. Moving into here, our Isotherm Cruise 130. Nice big 12-volt marine grade fridge.
4.6.
I think so.
Cubic.
Check out the stats. Yeah, just go to our website and buy one. Little slide out pantry style, and in here we have under the sink, we do have an induction top sitting under here. So when you're ready, you pop this guy out and you can place it just about anywhere in the van or outside, anything like that. You got controls under here for your fresh gray black water tanks. Speaking of black water tank, this does have a toilet. So this little guy right here that looks like a secondary bench seat, which it kind of is, or a step up into bed, pop this to the side, and then you have an actual toilet. We have a 6-gallon black water tank in here. So, you know, emergency use, but you know, 6 gallons can take you through a long weekend possibly if you're using it sparingly. And then it goes out to a traditional RV dump valve on the back. Yeah, cool little unit right there. And then the idea is, you know, if you have to use it, this whole van is already a, you know, an enclosure. So it's like shut the door, pull the curtains, get out of here for 10 minutes. You know, instead of building this huge box that takes up a quarter of the entire van. So that is sitting right next to a convertible couch. So pop this guy over, and then you've got yourself a bed for some extra people. Their tent blew over and they need to hide from the storm, and you toss them on here. You're taking the kids for, you know, and a little bit shorter. I think this one comes out to 5'10", So maybe somebody that's 6'3" isn't gonna be happy sleeping on it, but it's a super comfortable, super quick. I mean, talk about an instant transition into a bed. That's pretty slick. And then sitting right underneath the bed is the receiver for the Lagoon. So underneath here houses the arms. So you just reach underneath. See how awkward I can make this. They did a really good job of keeping it in there. So with our Lagoon table, you're not seeing the actual table anywhere because we have built a little secure housing up in this overhead shelf, and it keeps it locked in really, really nice and tight. So you're just gonna pop that out. And then this guy is gonna sit, bam, right there. So you can actually swivel it in a way that whoever's sitting here and here can both use it at the same time.
So you could pull a drink out of here, place it here, and then spin the table.
Oh man, should we try that?
Wow. Openness of this thing and the amount of counter space that you have.
Yep.
It's definitely a nice layout. And we've been inside of just about.
And then of course you got a secondary one right there for even more stuff. So yeah, I mean, just an insane amount of different usages, you know, whether or not you're using the leaves back there by the bed to help expand gear room or, you know, cooking surface space, this pop-up, this eating table. Yeah, the idea was to make a very open floor plan that was extremely usable, very modular, very comfortable, and not feeling claustrophobic. And it's very light and bright. You see we use the white laminated countertops, and all the wood that we've used in here, besides of course the countertops that you see, which are butcher block, which have been planed down, and the hex, Baltic birch hex that we used on the bed, which we wanted to really, you know, dense, strong plywood for people to lay on, have no sag or anything. Everything else in here is ultralight. You know, a sheet of Baltic birch core plywood is about 98 pounds, you know, 97 pounds a sheet. This balsa cord ultralight we're getting is about 49, 50 pounds a sheet. So we're almost half the weight per sheet. And when you're talking about using, you know, a dozen sheets of plywood at 100 pounds, you got 1,200 pounds of plywood that people are putting in these things. And then if we shave that in half, it's pretty amazing. Now, what we are also doing is we're double laminating all of our product. So no matter what you open, both sides have been laminated. A lot of people will just seal the backside and laminate the front, but for strength and waterproofing durability, we've double laminated all of our ultralight.
We got some LED lights that are flush mounted as well.
Yep, so they're all recessed. And then through the upper cabinets, you can see that we've gotten rid of the handles on the outside. So you don't have to worry about those silly, crappy, like thumb latches that never really work and always have a little play. So they'll dance a little bit, you'll have some noise. We did magnets in all of them. So you can see we've recessed these magnets here, and we've actually bored out from the backside so you can't see the magnets on the inside. So when you're looking at here, it's all clean, but there's back mounted magnets across the whole back side of this guy. So it actually grabs super, super strong, which eliminates the need for a handle, which eliminates you grabbing and hitting stuff and, you know, whatnot, and it looks really nice and clean. And as you're looking inside from the outside, a couple of things you can see is some of these finishing details. So this, our control center right here that wraps up, and we did a bull nose across the top with two lights that shine in right on this step. So you can just reach right here, flip this one light on, and no matter what, you can have them all off, and you'll have illuminated steps right here. And also we do a pretty nice finished detail wrapped in leather that goes across the front. that finishes off that archway really clean. And you have an inverted plug right here if you need some emergency power for anything outside.
Real quick on the electrical, this is a 48 volt system?
This one's 24. Our next one, we're hoping to do a 48 volt system. We got all the batteries and everything in stock. Yeah, we have a Nation secondary alternator. This thing will juice up those batteries from dead and faster than you would be able to even off of a, Honda 2000 generator. Yeah, on the outside, I mean, we've just got a few upgrades. We've got our Odin roof rack that's made right here in Utah. Got our Fiamma S45S on here. We've upgraded with some Black Rhino Arsenals and the Goodyear Wrangler wheels. Did some Alvans accessories on the back. Expedition large box B2 carrier. We're still waiting on our ladder tire combo to come in, hopefully soon. Got a Wee Boost on here. Rugged Designs ladder. You can just see poking out from the bottom. This is our gray water tank, and this is where our black water gate valve is. So they both come together over here. So you're able to clean out your system. Black water here, gray water here. We're looking pretty clean on the front. It's got a little light bar on top from Code 4 LEDs, which is also a Utah company. On the roof, we do have a couple of Zamp Obsidian solar panels. That was a celebration beer that we have every single day. And from here, you can see how low profile that press air unit is. So that thing only sits a few inches high.
Also, the light bar is not a giant thing to use. It's pretty low profile.
If you're putting one on to use it and not just impress your friends, Code 4 makes some pretty awesome stuff. Same low profile Zamp panels. They're not sitting up above, getting wind drag, whistling, and making beeping noises like this scissor lift. But then there's still plenty of room on the roof. This guy's gonna be carrying some kayaks, so he's gonna be putting some mounts across there and hauling some gear. But yeah, one of the nice features on the Odin racks is how tight it meets the curve of the roof. You won't have any complaints about noise and whistling. This design can translate into a lot of different uses, whether you have a couple kids or you're hauling gear. We actually made this height so that you can fit a couple of bikes inside. You can still put the tracks down on the front and the rear to mount your forks on the mountain bikes, haul them. You can move these guys out of the way and even get a dirt bike in there. But if you want to customize it to some of your own styles, it's like, hey, let us know what floors you like. Let us know what color upholstery and style upholstery you like. Let us know what color cabinetry you want, ceiling, stuff like that. So we can tweak these guys to fit your style a little bit. But for now, this build is, we're gonna keep kind of pushing these out so that we can get guys on the road super fast. So you're not sitting here waiting for a 4 to 6 month build. It's like, hey, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we can get you on the road from start to finish. So yeah, if you want one of the last remaining 2020 4x4 170 Sprinters that you can find anywhere, just give us a call and we'll get started on it.